Hello, students. We have to understand the Afro-American literature, and in this sense, as we have seen the literature that brings us the lives of the producer, the formative influences, the socio-political culture, and religious influences in their literature. साहित्यामध्ये लेखकाच्या जीवनाच्या संदर्भातील सामाजिक, सांस्कृतिक तसेच इतर अनेक गोष्टी, धार्मिक अशा अनेक गोष्टींचं प्रतिबिंब त्यांच्या साहित्यामध्ये पडतं. द लिव्ड लाईफ, त्यांनी जे आयुष्य जगलेलं आहे त्याचं चित्रण आपल्याला साहित्यामध्ये झालेलं पाहायला मिळतं. आणि म्हणून जेव्हा साहित्य आपण निर्माण करतो किंवा आफ्रो अमेरिकन लिटरेचर जेव्हा निर्माण झालं किंवा त्याच्या संदर्भात जेव्हा शिक्षणाचं जे बीज आहे त्यांना आफ्रो अमेरिकन हे सुद्धा आपल्याला दलित लोकांशी कंपॅरिझन करता आहेत. आफ्रो अमेरिकन हे म्हणजे इंडियातील दलित. जर आपण असं म्हणलं तर जे समस्या, जे प्रश्न सामाजिक, सांस्कृतिक असतील, जीवनाच्या संदर्भातील असतील, जे दलितांच्या वाट्याला आलेले आहेत तेच आफ्रो अमेरिकन लोकांच्या वाट्याला आलेलं आहे. आपल्याकडे जातीभेद आहे तर तिथं वंशभेद आहे आणि ह्या वंशभेदाची मुळं जी आहेत ती खूप खोलवर रुतलेली होती. अशा ह्या परिस्थितीमध्ये लोकांपर्यंत पोचणं, त्यांना शिक्षण मिळणं ह्या गोष्टी खूप दुर्लभ झालेल्या होत्या. आणि म्हणून व्हाईट जे काही ॲरिस्टोक्रॅसी आहे, व्हाईट मेंटॅलिटी आहे, द लाईव्स अँड discrimination in every walks of life reflected in the literature, and that we see in the form of the black literature. In 18th century, somewhat few of the black people who come forward, see, their literature came forward to the black brotherhood. Somewhere in the rural parts of America, when after their day long work in the farms or as a farm laborer, these black people come together in their respective ghettos, and where these some of the performances were showing their religious, showing their cultural background through their enactment, and that was also said to be the beginning of the black drama. Although it is performed every night in the evening time, and during these so-called days we have seen the drama gets developed. It was taking place in ghettos and ghettos in American society, in the rural parts of, say, America. And later on, it transformed into the structural type of writing and dramatic type of, say, evolution. And this evolution come up in the later part that we have seen developed into full-fledged drama. As we have seen the discrimination, as we have seen the lives of the black people and their honest desire to get the recognition, to prove their natural behavior, to prove their beauty, to prove their caliber, to protest against the discrimination, to protest against the cultural differences, to protest against the so-called marginalization of the Afro-American people, the literature or the drama started to speak up. And that we have seen is reflected in the dramas too. As we have seen in the poetry, and same we have seen in the drama form. So few Afro-American dramas were written. We have seen, along with the literature, along with the short stories, poems, drama too get this develop and it further on expedited in the 20th century. Although this was very direct so-called influence of this genre, that is drama. We have seen the drama has performed its better, drama has done its service directly to cast a kind of a influence on the brotherhood, the people who comes as a spectator, and that revolutionized the entire concept and to stand up against the white domination. The marginalization should be put and they should be see they should be castigated in every walks of life. In that we see is the Afro-American drama. It stands for the literature of the black. The drama in the 20th century also brings us new modern, see the development that as we have seen this influence of civil war, the influence of Martin Luther King Sr. and Martin Luther King later on Jr., who contributed a great deal to awaken the minds of the black people to to demand for their civil rights, to demand for their justice, which they are prevented in the centuries of the domination. It's a kind of a slave treatment. So we are also a human being. We are equally beautiful. We are human being just like you. Only the natural so-called say environment made them so. So this was what we have seen is the protest that is visible in Afro-American literature. We have seen the the dramas that also got influenced by not just Martin Luther King but also there are several other protests that was taking place and some of the incidents that are taking place, and now we have seen even today there is somewhat some black or Afro-American discrimination that also persistent even today. We have seen in the last year John Floyd's incident, the mass killing or shooting of the black people at the gunpoint, are instances of these so-called discrimination, this domination, and it all reflected in the drama. As we have seen, it's a faithful depiction of the political strife, social and cultural lives of the black people. It's the lives of slaves that we see in literature. So, they brings us the protest against the slavery, against the domination, marginalization that they see in every walk, even in the kitchen, even in the treatment, even in when sitting in the officials or in the official work, everywhere the discrimination was going on, and that became the subject of the drama. It is nothing other but whatever the promise that the Constitution has made to the people of America. They demanded their democratic rights. And as it's a constitutional rights of the black people to extend whatever civil rights are there to them. It is equally, they are also the citizen, the part of America. It's a kind of assertion that these black people tried to reveal through their literature. It is, of course, to assert their beauty, but the protest that is seen, the drama brings us the slices of a life that mean in what way they had lived in in the white domination and in a state of marginalization. We have seen Phyllis Whitley's various subjects, religious, moral. He has written such a literature that brings us the picture of this. It's a lives of suffering and self identity that we see in the literature. So they assert the equal rights and implementation of the democracy in the true sense of the term, and it was it was the protest. It brings us, as we have seen, the slices of life in incidents on black people. It may be a cultural, it may be a social cultural or political, even in everywhere how the laws are misinterpreted, misrepresented by the white dominion. The white and black, the racial discrimination plays a very pivotal role in this literature. But this is a kind of safety wall. It's a kind of, so we can say, is a way to reveal their pain and suffering through the drama. It is nothing other but the drama. It is nothing other but the literature, and that is the only way to educate and to spread out the awareness among the black people about their rights, about their duties also, about their livelihood. It's a kind of a stark realism that brings them back to their lives. So, as we have seen, this is another part of that, and as we have seen this era, these parts brings us uh, the so-called uh, slices, as we had just discussed, this slice of life taken from the modern, say, incidents. There are so many such incidents even happening even today in, but some gets noticed to the journalistic media, or some of them just ignored. But these such kinds of incidents are every day happening in the American society, which we suppose as developed civilization. But we have seen where the slavery and racial discrimination is a stigma to the American society. So that cannot be absolved, but of course it will be absolved in the days to come when the true democratic spirit is implemented and equal rights and equal so-called resources are handed over or availed to the black people, irrespective of their race, irrespective of their color. So, like this, we have seen the Afro-American drama, and we have just an example of this that you can also refer to. So, in this way, we have covered almost all the concepts and terms that are prescribed for the second semester, for this semester. Now it is our turn to go and look into the proper text that are prescribed, or some of the books or references that we will go. Those proper books will be referred to for further study. Okay, I would request you to go through whatever available resources to get these terms understood by you. So we have just a background to this, and it's implied that you should learn these concepts. So with these words I conclude here. So me see you again in the next video lecture, or when our college starts we will study in more deeply and will understand more particularly. Thank you.